Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios. I'm your StockMiner Brian Johnson, and we had another consolidation day today. I mentioned that that might be exactly what we see, as everybody waits for what job numbers tomorrow. So as it is, it's really just a bull flag here. We're still bullish on the markets. I think that's what everybody's expecting tomorrow for the numbers to be close to decent, good, whatever. I don't know if it really is going to matter. The markets have just been rallying on anything. So it appears that consumer confidence and Greek apparently is going to be challenging their debt. They got downgraded again, and there's been all kinds of really bad news. But you'll notice that if anybody happens to, hey, there's a new Charmin toilet paper that just was released. Woohoo! Charmin's up, and the rest of the market follows. So in these situations, guys, it's not uncommon to see that. So it's hard to follow the news. Going right back to knowledge, man, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power in the markets. You just got to know what you're seeing in the charts because the news will tell you whatever it is you want to hear. They're just out to sell papers. So the markets are going to do what they're going to do regardless of the news. Tomorrow's numbers, okay, now that's a piece of news that could move the markets one way or the other. But if the markets have it in their mind to go up, it ain't going to matter what they say tomorrow because we realized that last summer. Last summer, it was every week, it seemed, or every month, it seemed the job numbers got worse and worse and worse. And the market just rallied and rallied and rallied and whatever. So maybe we see some more of that into the elections. Very, very hard to tell at this point. But watch those numbers tomorrow, see if that makes any difference. Point is, it's all consolidation. This is a bull flag. Bull flags are bullish, so I remain neutral to bullish. We have not broken any of these levels. We got 8 points below the 10,900 mark, and you can see how we tried to test 11,000, but never made it. So we're still in this tight little 100-point range, looking for a break one way or the other. It's really just as simple as that. Wait for the break. Remember what we did here? Took us a while, and finally we got our break. Same thing here. Above 11,000, below 10,900, those are your opportunities for a long, maybe a short position. Here you can see that the Nasdaq, nothing broken here. We had the little bull flag pop, break above it. Now we're holding this upper blue line, still holding this upper blue line. So still expecting and looking for a little pop upwards. If that happens above that 2025 mark and or 2030 mark is where you are looking to get long. Look at this long consolidation. Makes you wonder. Something's coming. Big moves coming. We saw a pretty decent one earlier in the week, and I thought we'd get some follow through on that. We never really did. So a decent break on, I think that was Tuesday or so. What are we, Thursday? Yeah, it must have been Tuesday. And still waiting for that more major break. Maybe numbers tomorrow are where it's at. Anyway, break above 2025 or 2030. It's up into 2050 and or back below really 1970, guys. I'd be very cautious on anything above that for a short. I'd go ahead and let it and wait for it, especially on the Nasdaq, so strong. Weekly, we'll worry about that after tomorrow's numbers come out. That right now, it's a very, very neutral. I'll tell you what we're seeing right here, guys. It's a high base. It's a high base. How many times have we seen these in the other charts? Right now, this is a high base, but the week's not out yet, and the candle isn't closed yet. So we know how quickly these things can change. So we'll wait and talk about that tomorrow. SPX on a 60-minute. Look at this holding. Just looked like it hit, came back, test again, came back. But all this is, that's right, it's a bull flag. It's a bull flag. So looking for a break back above this area. Right now, maybe above that 1064-ish level, I'd probably be the most conservative place to get long. Back above 1064. Then I'm looking for some overhead resistance right around, I don't know, 1164. And then looking for overhead resistance at the 1170 to 1180 mark, somewhere up in there. There's a lot of overhead resistance in that whole area there. Otherwise, not really anything to talk about unless we get back below. A more speculative trade is below 1150. More conservative trades still back below, I'd say 1125 and or below the 200. Look at that thing sweeping up. Boy, that thing is strong right now. Very, very strong. So maybe back below that for a short. Otherwise, just watch. Just be cautious. Right now, there is absolutely nothing broke from a bull side. Strong, strong. And what we're seeing here after 2 days is nothing but what? A high base. High base, high base. So we got that break above 1150. I thought we'd see a little bit of movement maybe into the 1170 mark. Still coming. potentially. It just hasn't happened yet. Job numbers, I think, tomorrow are the sealer on that one there. But if you're holding overnight, you'll want to be cautious. Anything back below 1150, I'd be very careful about long at that point. Otherwise, into the 1170, 1180 mark is where you need to be looking to maybe cover a little bit of your position, take a little bit of profits. Completely up to you. But all we're seeing is run up, pull back, run up, pull back, run up, high base, run up, high base. It's all bullish, babe. It's all bullish, guys. Here we are on a weekly. Once again, we'll wait till tomorrow to see where we're at. But any hard push up, I really think now this 1197 mark comes into play, and that potentially gets reached tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Well, maybe tomorrow, but I would say more than likely maybe next week. If it's going to do it during options expiration week, one of those situations where everybody's starting to go, oh, we're up too far, we've got to fall, we've got to fall. Well, guess what? If we don't fall, what's the best thing to do next week? Go up and just bleed everybody that's in a put. Just absolutely bleed the people that are in puts. So maybe that happens next week. We'll see where this all ends for the week, diagnose it over the weekend, but that's kind of where, obviously that's kind of where I'm leaning at the present time if we break up tomorrow on those job numbers. VIX on a daily also hanging tough. This was interesting. So market's kind of flat, VIX kind of flat, but look how we're holding this green line again. Still nothing changing down here. And we held up here very, very, very nicely. Job numbers, like I said, I think is the game changer. Job numbers tomorrow, decent to good. Market decides to rally. This is going to drop, and we are probably going to reach this 20 and or the 18, 19 level in the VIX. Job numbers tomorrow are unexpectedly bad, or flat out market decides to drop. Job numbers could come out neutral, and market decides to go one way or the other on their own. Either way, it doesn't matter. Spikes above this 24 mark are still what we're watching for. That'll get us now, I think, up and over this whole blue line, and that could lead to a little bit more of a move down in the markets. So this will be interesting to watch over the next few days, into next week for sure being options expiration, to see if we get any kind of indication whatsoever from the VIX, because right now it's giving us nothing. Just showing us that nobody's scared of anything, especially from the options side. Nobody's worried about anything here. There's no fear coming into the market whatsoever. Apple on a 60-minute was up a whopping 3 cents today. Very tough to play. This is all consolidation. But ultimately, guys, if you want to break this down into a pattern, you know what? I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to see if you guys can figure it out. And then I'll think about it. I'll put it in my newsletter tomorrow. Tell me what you think this pattern is up here. I think it's time that we start teaching you how to fish. How about that? Let's do a little bit of this every now and then. That'd be kind of fun. So look at this pattern in Apple, and if you have a guess at what you think that pattern is, I want you to send me an email, and I'll give you the email address on the thing. It's basically just info, I-N-F-O, at thestockmentor.com. Send me your guesses on what you think that is. You can break it down on a chart. If you want to draw it in on a chart and send that picture to me too, that'd be great. We'll break it down tomorrow, and I'll give you my humble opinion on the whole thing, and we'll see if it's valid or not. I think, tomorrow will definitely tell us. There's no way it can't tell us tomorrow. We'll know tomorrow for sure whether it was valid or not, but I'd be curious to see what you guys think about this. I'd like to know, the viewers out there and kind of where they're at with things, and see how that goes. So give me your best shot on that. Apple move down, pull back up, up, up. Very curious. So, do we want to speculate? Do we want to call this a big move up, and now we're looking at an A, B, potentially C move back down into the 270 or below area, 265 area? And or are we going to consolidate up here and bust upwards? Go back to that 60-minute chart, draw me what you think the pattern is, and let me know. Talk about it tomorrow. Weekly here, obviously we're not done yet, but still consolidating sideways. That's still a high base formation. That is still bullish as of right now today. We'll see if that changes tomorrow. FAS on a 60-minute was down 24 cents, but you can see not a big move here by FAS or FAZ, either one of them. Here you have the plunge up and the move sideways. Pushes above 23 just for a second. So if you took that trade today, that would have been a difficult one. That was still, you know what? It's still a good break. Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at it. It's a great break. If you took this trade over 23, I really liked, 23.60 something up in here. But if you took a break over $23, not a bad call on your part, actually, and it just didn't work out. Welcome to the world we live in. That's the markets for you. So this one did not work out. Hopefully you covered. Hopefully you're not still in this. I would hate to think that you're gambling into tomorrow's numbers, but if you took a little bit of a loss on that and are wondering, well, I wonder, you know what? Don't wonder. Just know that that was a good trade. It just didn't work out. Welcome to the markets. That's the world we live in, guys. FAZ on a 60-minute, also same type of thing here, up 13 cents, but not pushing up and above any of this stuff that I was talking about in the past. So we did get a little bit of a push here, but nothing really to speak of from the 3 times as we consolidate into tomorrow's numbers. So if you did take this trade down here, this was really pretty clear to me too. You did make a little bit of money today. But very little. Very, very, very difficult trading down in this area. Above 1260, there you go. Above 1260 was the entry to long side. Maybe made a little bit up into here. Otherwise, you still kind of break even. So you have to be very, very cautious with these 3-time ETFs. And I will be back with you, obviously, again tomorrow. Send me your guesses on what you think that pattern is on the 60-minute Apple chart. If you're interested, we'll go back over it tomorrow. Another thing I'm going to talk to you about real quick is I am going to start doing a little meeting. I've got a lot of people that have been asking me about the mentoring and, hey, question this and hey, question that. You know what? Why don't we just do this in a little group? I'd love to do that. I've set up GoToMeeting. So I can set up a little quick meeting and have whatever, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10 of you come join the meeting. If you're interested in knowing more about the mentoring or interested in asking me questions about stuff or interested in meeting me and knowing a little bit more about who I am, I would love, love, love to talk to some of you guys. Send me an email as well, info@thestockminute.com. Let me know if you're interested in having a little meeting. I'll try to set one up. Make a time that works for everybody later in the evening so that everybody is off work and at home instead of during the middle of the day. And let's just hook up for a while. We'll chat a little bit about the mentoring. You can ask me some questions, bounce some things off of me, and I'll get to know some of you a little bit better. I'm looking forward to that. Talk to you guys soon. Goodbye.